last week's instalment. When he's making himself a sandwich, this Skyfall actor likes it with either ham on or jam on. But definitely not gammon, because Spain is no country for old men. I'm now not allowed to make any more ham jokes because Javier Bardem on tonight's Hollywood Swingers.
That introduction means it's time for our favourite segment of the show, Hollywood Swingers, where we celebrate those Hollywood movie stars who have swung into music. This week, it is acting legend Javier Bardem. Please tell me about him, Paul.
Javier Angel Encinas Bardem.
Javier Angel Encinas Bardem.
Yep, born the 1st of March 1969, it was a Saturday, in Las Palmas in the Canary Islands, to mother Pilar Bardem and father Jose Carlos Encinas. It was reported that Jose was a bit of a loose cannon, constantly having to change jobs, leading to evictions and the children going hungry.
Yeah.
And that soon led to Bardem's mother basically splitting from him shortly after Javier was born.
Right.
His mother, though, was a noted Spanish actress.
Ooh.
And Javier comes from a long line of filmmakers from the earliest days of Spanish cinema, including his grandparents and his uncle, who was imprisoned by General Franco for making anti-fascist films.
Oh my days.
Yeah. Now, the young Bardem spent time at theatres and film sets as a child, even making his first screen appearance at the age of 6. But he saw how hard the industry was for his family, particularly his mother, who often went without jobs. And so he decided that he would rather be a painter. And he studied at a Madrid art school for 4 years.
I'm sorry. He was worried financially
Yeah.
about being an actor because he watched people struggle. So he said, I know what I would do. I would become a painter.
Yeah.
Unless you're a house and decorating painting, Javier Bardem, that's not a solid
Not
job
really
either.
a trade, no. He even played rugby at a young age, and he was chosen for the junior Spanish national team.
Ooh.
But he stopped playing when he was 23. Now, you might think that this rough and ready sport was the cause of his prominent broken nose. But it wasn't. In fact, he was once punched in the face by a random guy in a nightclub. And thus, I think Javier Bardem has sworn off violence ever since. Now, his nose wasn't the only thing to take a blow, as his dream job as an artist wasn't paying the bills, meaning he had to do a number of jobs, including he worked as a writer, a bouncer, a construction worker, and even a stripper. So he played pretty much almost all of the village people. Like,
You know how you said that his mum was an actor and his whole family were actors? Since that point, I've been looking up how to say Nepo baby in Spanish.
yeah, go for it.
Nepo baby. It's the exact same.
There we are. I don't think they were that successful, though.
No.
But it got worse.
Yeah.
After all those jobs, he had to stoop to the lows of taking acting jobs again. As well as a small guest role in an episode of the 1991 ITV crime drama El Cid. That was the one that was based in Spain that starred Alfred Molina.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
He plays Lieutenant Gamache in my favourite Canadian crime solving
Well, there we
programme.
are. But there's one of Javier Bardem's first jobs.
Is that like Spanish Bill?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was like a Spanish comedy cop show.
Okay, I may watch that.
Yeah, Bardem earned his first notices in Spanish cinema by shining in a small role in the erotic drama The Ages of Lulu, which also, in different scenes, please note, starred his mum.
No. You never want to hear somebody starring in an erotic film also featuring their mum.
I don't think they did it.
I don't think they did it. I'm telling you.
No, I just meant that mum's
It
not
doesn't
doing any of
matter.
the erotic stuff, but it's still a bit awkward.
No, it
Imagine
doesn't
going to
matter.
that
You're still in the
premiere.
film with
You
them.
have to watch that on screen.
In a scuddy film.
After another few smaller roles, he won the lead role in the 1992 Spanish romantic comedy Jamón Jamón, which is basically Spanish for ham ham.
Okay.
It was also the film debut of a then unknown Penelope Cruz, who played his love interest. The film, major international success, brought him to the attention of the English-speaking world. But its success was also one of the reasons he had to quit rugby, which he still played at the time, because opponents on the other teams were recognising him as the guy from Jamón Jamón.
Oh.
And he was basically getting abused on the field.
No. Oh.
The actor John Malkovich, having seen the film, tried to get the Javi to star in his directorial debut, but the Javi Bardem turned it down as his English was not good enough.
Yeah.
So he just decided to star in films in his native country.
Also, did he know John Malkovich? Because see if you don't know John Malkovich and John Malkovich just turns up and is like, hey, you want to be in my film?
I am John Malkovich.
I'm John Malkovich. Would you like to be in my film? You'd be saying no because he's awfully creepy. And if you didn't know him for Adam, you wouldn't want to go anywhere with him.
No. So Bardem then starred in his first international film in 2000s Before Night Falls. Still speaking in Spanish, though, he played a Cuban poet. It was a flop at the box office, but it saw the actor nominated for an Academy Award. The first Spanish actor to gain a nomination.
Antonio Banderas must have been raging.
Bardem says that he went home one night and that he found a message on his answer machine praising his performance from his acting idol Al Pacino, who'd found out his number. The actor says he kept the tape and he considers it one of the most beautiful gifts he has ever received. Still got it to this day.
I like that. The same thing is true of the guy who wrote Rent. He had a tape from Sondheim who left a voicemail in his message saying, "Oh, I really liked your play. Thank you so much for inviting me," or something really simple and just a simple
Just
voicemail.
great, yeah, that's all
but
it
you did a
takes.
good job, and that meant so much to him before he passed away. How important that was to him.
But that was it. He's nominated for an Oscar, so Hollywood came a calling. Steven Spielberg offered him a role in Minority Report. Bardem turned it down. It was the one that Colin Farrell played. Instead, he turned it down to star in The Dancer Upstairs, the film that John Malkovich offered him 5 years earlier.
Right.
John Malkovich had spent all those years trying to find financing, and Javier Bardem, now having got his English skills up to scratch in the meantime, with the help he claims of the music of AC/DC, showed his loyalty to John Malkovich for going out of his way to offer him a part all those years back.
Oh.
And now it was only like a side role he was going to get, but because his English had improved and he took the lead role in the film. That's pretty nice. I think that's a bit of loyalty in Hollywood you don't normally see.
From John Malkovich?
No, from Javier Bardem.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he wasn't a Hollywood actor at the time, though. He was just like a guy who'd been in a Hollywood film, so he's still got that like purity of soul. He's still got purity of soul.
Got it. 2004, he starred in the Spanish language film The Sea Inside, which was a big international hit, as well as having a supporting role in the Tom Cruise thriller Collateral. Easy for you to say. 2007, though, was the breakout year. He took on the role of the villainous, bowl-cut sporting baddie Anton Chigurh in the Coen brothers film No Country for Old Men.
Did you love it?
It's amazing.
It's such a good film.
It's one of the best films I think that's ever been made.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's a film that I've actually watched.
And
It must be good.
Yeah, it was a tough shoot for the actor, though, who still, his English wasn't the best. He had to move to the US South for months, and he sported a haircut that made people literally shy away from him in terror in public. It is scary. He looks scary.
His physical appearance in it is so specifically frightening that it's so clever that somebody went, I know what's going to make you look scary. Is it having a shaved head and a mohawk and spikes? No. It's having a
like
creepy bowl cut.
Lord Farquhar from Shrek.
Yeah. It's like the boy who likes berries and cream.
His co-star Josh Brolin even tells a tale of how he would go out drinking during the shoot, with Bardem basically saying, I'm not going to get laid for months due to this haircut. It seemed to be worth it, though. Film, mega hit at the box office, mega hit. Bardem's portrayal of the terrifying hitman was so iconic, it's recognised as one of the best villain performances in cinema history.
Of all time.
It was identified in a scientific study to be the most realistic portrayal of a psychopath on screen.
Ooh.
And it won Bardem a BAFTA,
Yes.
Golden Globe,
Yes.
and an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
He's
the
won a bog.
first Spanish actor to win an
bog.
Oscar.
But a bog.
To win a bog.
A BAFTA, Oscar, Golden Globe.
2008, he starred in Vicky Cristina Barcelona alongside his old Jamon co-star Penelope Cruz.
Say it right. Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Sorry. He became romantically involved with Penelope Cruz.
Oh, so they weren't already going out?
Yep. And they would subsequently marry.
Oh.
Still together today. And then for that film, Cruise then won an Oscar for that film the next year.
Oh,
That's
they're
a power
supporting each
couple.
other. It's a power couple.
Power
I love
couple.
it.
Since then, Bardem has managed to straddle the line between working on the Hollywood films as well as staying true to his roots. He managed further Oscar nominations for the Spanish language films like Beautiful, as well as making his money by playing the Bond baddie, Raul Silva, in 2012 Sky. Well, it's not beautiful.
I
It's,
know, but you said it like Joey Barton when he was doing press conferences in French. You know, it's how you say beautiful.
beautiful. I'm pretty sure that's how they pronounce it. And he also played the baddie in 2017's Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. 2021 gained another Oscar nomination for being the Ricardos opposite Nicole Kidman.
Such a good film, and he was superb in it. I
Yeah.
loved that film.
And you'll see him in not one but two big blockbusters this year as he returns in the sequel to Dune Part 2.
Dune 2.
Dune
Dune
2.
further.
As well as starring in the live-action remake of Disney's The Little Mermaid, playing Ariel's dad, King Triton.
Oh, so exciting.
Do you think it's going to be good?
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be awful like every other real life animation thing that they've put forth and went, look, we've ruined your childhood. And then I have to be a grown up about it and be like, yeah, that's really good work, guys, thank you so much. And not be angry and neck beardy. But inside, I'm fuming and throwing my
Fuming and
chicken nugs
raging.
at my computer.
But to tonight's song,
Yes.
and it's a recent one as we look at the 2022 film adaptation of the beloved children's book Lyle Lyle Crocodile, which saw Javier Bardem star alongside a CGI crocodile that can't talk but can sing in perfect English.
Played by Camila Cabello's ex-boyfriend, who are back together, Shawn Mendes.
Shawn Mendes, correct. I wonder if, though, the Javier Bardem of Jamon could see his future self doing a song and dance routine with a fake crocodile. He'd say to himself, take a look at us now.
You can pack your bags and start skipping town. Hang up that hat when the show shuts down. But when the world says you ain't quite world renowned, don't count yourself out yet. When you hit that lonely and lowest low, well, that's the only way left to go. You're meant to reinvent the show, so ain't you glad we met? Turn that dull and dusty solo to a dazzling duet. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Maybe we started pretty small, but take a look at us now.
Take a look at us now.
Suddenly standing 10 feet tall. Take a look at us now.
Take a look at us now.
Though we had no way to stay afloat, we were scared they'd say it was all she wrote. We're ending on a sky-high note somehow. But you were all it took, so take a look at us now. When that perfect plan's going off the rails, a heap of trouble is on our tails. It's time to polish up those scales and give it all you got. If you're out of step,
If you're out of sync,
if you care too much what those critics think, well, when you find your missing link, they don't get a second thought. 'Cause in the center of the spotlight, we just might have found our spot. Trying our luck with every leap. Take a look at us now, take a look at us now. The road could be steady, could be steep. Take a look at us now, take a look at us now. Thought we might be sunk upon first glance. Well, who'd have thought that we had a chance? A life could be a song and dance somehow. But you were all it took, so take a look at us now. So even when you're terrified, just smile a smile a mile wide. 'Cause but when you and I collide, standing side by side, we're gonna take a great big bow. Won't you take a look at us now? Give us a spotlight and a crowd. Take a look at us now. Ready to sing our song out loud. Take a look at us now.
That was Javier Bardem with Shawn Mendes with Take a Look at Us Now from Lyle the Crocodile. Here at the Ashley Storrie Show, we rank our Hollywood swingers on a scale of 1 to 100 Kenny Rogers roasters. Kenny Roger being the original and best Hollywood swinger and also owner of a chicken restaurant chain. Paul,
Yeah.
how many Kenny Rogers roasters are you going to give to Javier Bardem, the winner of a gob, the winner, husband of Penelope? How many?
I'm going to have to go high.
What?
My daughter loved this film. I've seen this many, many times. The fact any singing performance in a film that doesn't make me want to die inside is a good thing. And I
Okay.
have sang this song in a car with my daughter. Happy. I'm going to give it 85.
Okay, well, I know that you've asked me repeatedly when you bring up your daughter to not mention my dog. My dog didn't like this film.
You didn't even show your dog this film.
Honey would have hated it. She hates crocodiles. But yeah, I don't get why you're so enamoured by this. It sounded like he was singing through a toilet tube.
No, it just sounded like him.
It sounded like it was incredibly auto-tuned.
It
was
didn't
like
sound that bad
It was like that
auto-tuned.
one Victoria Beckham single that she did with Dane Bowers where she's like, "Out of my mind." That's what it sounded like. It was terrible. 15 Kenny Rogers
It's not a
roasters.
15. If you combine my 15, your 15 with my 85, that's 100.
If you combine your feet with my feet, that's a big feat. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well, we got 100 and two big giant feet.
Get in touch via text 80295.
He sang
Let
in
me
his
know
accent.
what you thought
he
of
didn't
Javier
shy
Bardem.
away for the high notes. Don't move off the chat. He didn't shy
hit
away.
a high note, Paul. Paul goes, oh, Ashley, this is the bit where he hits the high note, and I'm like expecting a high note, and then Javier Bardem goes, and then like
It
that's
was-
not
it
a
was up
high
a bit
note.
higher
It
than
wasn't
that.
any higher than that, Paul. It wasn't that
He's
good
a man
song.
with a deep voice. He's singing in a deep voice, and he still went. He didn't take the cowards route. He went for it. He went for the notes, and he hit them all.
Didn't. The notes
did.
were easy to reach. That's like it's not a hard match.
Well, then he played it safe, and he did it well.
It wasn't well. A computer had to go through it and put it in the right place because his voice was all over the place.
I don't lie, I didn't hear it that way.
It sounded like a robot singing to a crocodile. Get in touch via text 80295.
Even better.
Let us know your score for Javier Bardem, this week's Hollywood swinger. Do you think he's great? Do you think he's rubbish? Give him a score. 15 from me, 85 from Paul. Shawn Mendes, we have to just kind of cut him out because he's a talented singer and it's such a shame that he had to sing with a crocodile robot. Right, next up, it's Palette Cleanser. Here's Benny King with Spanish Harlem.